I remember one time Shelly was really frustrated with the kids and really with herself and how things were going. Our kids were a little bit wild and out of control, and I don't think it's any different than a lot of kids when they're little and they're still trying to figure things out, and moms are trying to figure things out. And I remember one day uh, she said, "Take all these books to the thrift store, get rid of them, donate them." I said, "Wait a minute, what? You're getting rid of all your parenting books?" I mean, she said, "You know what, Kyle? I've come to a conclusion." I said, "What's that?" And she said, "Well, I keep buying these parenting books, looking for, some magic pill or some, one, maybe the next book will have the answer to solving the challenges that we're facing with all these boys." And she said, "I've come to realize something. I need to quit studying all these books." And I said, "Oh yeah, what are you going to do now?" And right about that time, my oldest Alec came running down the hall, smashed into his little brother, and they both fell to the floor. And one of them started crying, one of them started laughing, and we both just watched this happen. And she said, "I need to study them. That's who I need to study." She said, "I'm starting to realize that all these books have all these little tactics and these little, here's what you do when this happens and here's what you don't do when this happens." And she said, "Our boys are different." She said, "As a matter of fact, that boy is different than that boy, and completely different kids, same family, same parents, different kids, and they respond differently to the same things." She said, "I don't need to study these books anymore. I need to study what works with the kids. They're experimenting on me to see what I'll put up with. I need to start experimenting on them." And I'll never forget that moment because it kind of changed the way that she started looking at becoming a better mom. It wasn't about, getting all the information from all these books. It was more about understanding her own kids, how they worked, what made them tick individually, not both of them, but and I think we had four at the time, so these were the two oldest. Um, Understanding each one of our kids independently of each other, and parenting each one of these kids in a way that got the best impact. And I remember how that kind of changed the dynamics of how she saw what she was doing. It's pretty interesting stuff. I share a lot about that in the book I wrote about her, the Shelley Method. ShelleyMethod.com. If you're interested in that, go check it out. You'll see what she came up with. Every child needs to be parented differently. Every parent's different. No one size fits all. Have a great day. Bye bye.